Hi. I just we're gonna have to restart the stream here real quick so Kellen can get some audio issues sorted out. We'll be right back.
All right, now good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into round number 6 of the 2018 Race Tech Nationals and MX Simulator, live here from Southwick. I apologize for those audio issues that I was just having. It was pretty much just me being stupid, but we actually have the 250 class already out on the track for their parade lap. And joining me in the booth tonight, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Riesenberg. How are you tonight, Chris?
Just put some kids into their beds and jumped online to watch some sandy action from Southwick.
Sandy action from Southwick is pretty much going to be the name of this broadcast at this point. I mean, it is rough and tumble racing, but from what I understand, it sounds like we're in for a good fight tonight because most people are agreeing that the road settings are good so far, Chris. Am I right?
I'm nervously optimistic. It's the best reception we've had of a track thus far this year, I would say. I've said, even since last year during the offseason, like, Southwick was the reason I wanted to do Nationals this year because sand and a road work together very well. Hopefully we'll see that. We've done some testing this week that was very promising. Fingers crossed, and it looks like we're about to go racing.
Well, before we go racing, real quick, let's update you on those current 250 point standings. Jack Haley enters tonight, clearing away in the points lead, 241 to Sean Klein's 180. Colton Mitchell defending champion on 177. Devin Ryan on 152, and Jordan Moxey on 131 as your top 5 heading into tonight as we are about to drop the gate, as Chris said. 250 Moto number 1. Let's see who we're going to watch here on the start.
Well, let's also highlight a versuspc.com one to watch real quick, and we'll go with, how about Edward Moore on the number 26, Every Good Machine.
Let's go racing from Southwick.
Down to turn 1. Dakota French had a start, got bumped on the outside and is laying in the dirt. And Devin Ryan going to get out front, relax the tire rider. Phil Bull and Jack Haley, good starts. 3 of the faster guys, Salty Welty, Gebhardt, and I believe that was Harry White up in the mix in the top 5. These guys have been fast all year long as Devin Ryan gets absolutely sent. I don't know if that's contact with Phil Bull or if he hit that bump wrong. But lap 1 from first to likely close to last, Devin Ryan.
Yeah, I think that was contact with Phil Bull. It looked like there's a bit of that Aussie lag bubble involved there, unfortunately. But now it puts Phil Bull to the front. Jack Haley, your points leader, right behind him, and that is not what our championship contenders wanted to see, is your points leader right here in second early on and going for the lead early.
Let's see what Phil Bull can do here with the lead he's been getting. Good starts and riding strong this outdoor season as Haley's trying to duck inside early. Bull's going to have the drive leaving the turn. Are they going to split lines here? They are.
Haley goes wide. Bull takes the inside. It's a drag race up this hill and down this back section. Nearly
Bull's
alongside.
Just enough speed, I think, to hold him off as he has the inside going into the following corner. And now they go into the Buckley berm.
Interesting that Haley's able to ride so close. We just saw that lag bubble effect with Devin Ryan, and now Haley cutting back and forth across the track trying to get around Phil Bull. Almost goes into the outside hay bale there.
Riding the grass a little bit. Trying everything he can to get around Phil Bull here early. This track's just wide open right now for these 250s. They just had to be a little careful not to slide out, and you got to use a little more of the outsides than they probably will be using once the lines start to develop. But we are off and racing. Phil Bull, Jack Haley, Harry White hangs close. Gebhardt and Craig Leaker, your top 5 here as they're getting ready to put the first lap in the books at the Wick.
Yeah, Phil Bull's actually extended that lead a little bit as we come down to the finish line here. So the Australian, number 40 for Team Volcom, looking strong here early. And he will, in fact, lead that first lap here at Southwick. Jack Haley's still hot on his heels. but a little bit more breathing room than we saw maybe half a lap ago.
Yeah, one small slip up though, not getting the drive off a corner here in the deep sand of Southwick on the 250, and you lose about a second at least. Even with just a small slip up, not being able to carry your momentum, especially for these guys that are so good at carrying their momentum.
Haley definitely lurking. We've got to keep an eye on Harry White as he makes a small bobble in the background, though. TM Factory Racing Machine Riders looked really good all season long, and he's holding these guys tight. He's got Walter Gebhardt trying to reel him in as well.
And of course, Craig Leake on the Evergood machine rounds out your top 5. Tyler Lang with a good start. Daniel Batchlett, Matthias Janis, Ben Seberg, and Garrett Hollenbeck round out your top 10 early on here. As we're going on to lap number 2, and the battle for the lead is on fire. Once again, Jack Haley has reeled in Phil Bull.
Yeah, just as that battle for third was starting to heat up, Haley closed in on our leader, but he also just made a small bobble, yeah.
And again, you see it stretches it out about 5 bike lengths. It was such a minor mistake on a normal track that would barely make a difference, but here just the momentum is so key on the 250.
Yeah, you got to stay light, kind of bounce through everything a little bit. The sand really sucks you down more than you think. This is one of the few tracks all season long that these guys will experience that different traction level.
Oh, Haley just ripped that corner. He's going to be able to show him a wheel a little bit going into these turning rollers. Not quite enough to get it done.
Oh, Phil Bull's riding really strong here. And
wow, Haley stayed super low, and he's looking inside. Is there enough of a groove here for Haley to get the run? No, he loses traction on the way out.
It looked like there might have been a groove, but he actually just missed it coming out of the inside rut, and he was sliding all the way through that corner.
Absolutely.
Still early,
during
so
qualifying, a lot of times there would be 3 ruts down through that corner, and the inside one just hadn't developed enough yet. The middle one was a little better. Maybe if Haley would have used it, he would have had a run.
Yeah, and it's still early, so we'll see those lines develop as the race goes on. Already some lines developing, so it's interesting to see. We'll see this track break down later and later the Moto gets going.
Haley trying to work an inside now.
Frantic battle for the lead.
Find some running room.
That battle for third looks to have settled just a little bit. Harry White has a small gap on Gebhardt, but they're both losing touch with our leaders.
This is where Haley's been fast the last couple laps. This quarter of the track, it seems like he really pulls up on Phil Bull, and he's pretty close entering it this time. Oh. And he almost gets into his back tire there.
Phil Bull holds the corner. Look at Haley's line. Oh, and the contact. Wow, what a move. Jack Haley was tired of hanging out behind Phil Bull and used a little bit of Justin Barsha line right there that we saw at Muddy Creek. Squared up early and just came all the way across. Got Phil Bull's front tire, but Phil Bull does not fall off the bike, so he settles back into fourth behind this battle between Harry White and Walter Gebhardt.
A nice run going here for Harry White, who's had a great outdoor season thus far. Really putting his name on the map here in this 250 class. And I tell you what, it's not very often that you see Haley get aggressive, but he had been stalking Bull, and Bull had been so solid out front. He saw a little opening and had to take it. Gebhardt looks like he has a run on Harry White. Are they going to follow each other in, or is Gebhardt going to go around the outside? They're going to follow. That inside of the berm is super good right now.
Yeah, all these guys seem to be just hopping into the corners and absolutely laying it over. Still kind of that early in the race kind of pace going on where everybody's just pushing the limits of the track as it breaks
Harry
down.
White, a mistake. Is Gebhardt going to have the run? This is a long straightaway where you need the momentum coming into it. I think White's going to be able to close the door, and he does. It makes Gebhardt actually shut down a little. But Gebhardt going to try to slingshot the smoother outside line.
He might have it here. Oh, does he close him off? Yes, he does, and he gets the pass made.
That inside, too. A lap earlier, he wouldn't have been able to slow down into that inside, but it's built up just enough on this lap that it was able to hold him in. And Walter Gebhardt up into the number 2 spot.
So great pass puts him up to second. White back to third, and Phil Bull still lurking here in fourth, looking back to Craig Leake in fifth. Tyler Lang's coming through here in sixth, and a good battle between Daniel Batchlett and Ben Seberg coming across the line, seventh and eighth right here. That's the 378 and the 55 in your program book, and it's about to change positions by the looks of it. Seberg is getting down the inside, but just can't quite get the wheel.
Oh, was going to try a little square up maneuver there. Got a little bit of a slide when he went to cut back. He's going to have to wait for now.
They work their way through this second corner of the track. Seberg's trying to go around the outside, which is going to turn into the inside. He might just have the line here, and he pushes Batchelor out of the way and down. So Seberg slides on through into that 7 spot. Moxie now goes in 8th.
Start for Batchelor. Seen a little aggression here at Southwick thus far.
Yeah, no prisoners. This track is a wide open racetrack, and these guys are just going for it.
We got a change for the number 2 spot. Gebhardt's made a mistake, so now Phil Bull back into 2nd, Craig Leak 3rd, Tyler Lang up to 4th, Gebhardt slots to 5th, and Harry White goes all the way back to 6th. So I'm wondering if maybe Gebhardt and White got together, as it looks like T. Lang just getting back going, as he drops back into 6th now.
Well, if Gebhardt and White did get together, they are still right next to each other, so this could be an interesting battle if there was a bit of antics going on. White tries to get back around the 31, makes a small mistake though. As you said, Lang getting up right in front of Seberg there, so that's going to produce a battle. That battle would be for the 6th spot at the moment. Ooh, Seberg's getting all kinds out of shape in the background though, pushing the limits of that SR75 World Team machine.
Mistake from Lang is going to allow Seberg even closer. We saw this outside line work a lap ago to make a move. Let's see if Seberg can use it. Now he's going to actually follow right down that inside. That'll get beat up here late in the race.
Gebhardt down in the middle of the track, so 3 riders right on by there. And as you said, yeah, Seberg's trying to size up Lang, as Lang actually is going after Harry White, so great 3-rider battle.
Yeah, Lang carrying great pace, it looks like, even after that mistake.
Oh, White is going down as well. Lang just able to avoid him. Seberg does not.
Stays on the bike, though. And then Gebhardt comes around and almost puts Harry White into a double crash, and Gebhardt is down again. I think the wheels are coming off here for Walter Gebhardt, and if history shows anything, Gebhardt not the best at keeping it cool in these types of situations.
Yeah, throwback to Muddy Creek last week, we saw Gebhardt was running as high as 2nd in that 2nd moto, had a few crashes, and it was just all to the wall from there. He was flying around the track, but crashing quite often from there on. Clearly frustrated. See if that translates over here into Southwick, as he's now behind Daniel Batchelor. Colby Eagland is coming up behind him, and then Matthias Janis bringing Garrett Hollenbeck.
As we hit the 10-minute mark of the moto, looking at it, it looks like this is going to be the fastest part of the moto here for the next lap or 2, and then we'll actually see the shift. The lines are developed now, but it's going to start to get rough in those main lines and slow it back down. At least that's what I'm predicting we'll see, as we'll try to see some burners starting to get laid down right now. Jack Haley continues to lead. Phil Bolt comfy in 2nd. Nice run for Craig Leak, running up in 3rd on the number 11. Everything kind of spread out here in the top 5. Lang, Seberg. Then we find Jordan Moxie for the first time today. He's up to the number 6 ride on the iLab.com, number 20. So Moxie getting some speed, must be coming through the pack a little bit. And you know who we haven't talked about is a couple of our other title contenders, Sean Klein, as well as Colton Mitchell, our defending champion. Haven't seen them just yet, and you won't find them inside the top 10. I'm going to go do a little searching. I find Devin Ryan, our whole shot winner, back in the 12 spot. Sean Klein comes across in 14th right now, and going on back, still searching. It's the number 1 machine even in the field tonight.
Yeah, I saw him in the warm-up
there
lap.
he is, all the way back in P30. Colton Mitchell, wheels are off for number 1. His title hopes, as slim as they were coming in, this moto might be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, everybody is pretty far behind in the standings behind Jack Haley, and him getting the starts that he's been getting and winning the races like he has. It's been pretty tough to catch him in the points, as we're having some great onboard action here with Garrett Hollenbeck running in P11, as you get an idea of where the track is at the moment. He has got Devin Ryan, his teammate, right behind him. So great action here between a couple of the Relaxa Tire guys for 12th, or 11th and 12th, I should say. Devin Ryan's probably not too happy with Phil Bull, given that Devin Ryan seems to be making real headways through the field and probably had some good speed to run up front.
This is also really the first time these guys have been able to see the track kind of fully developed in a race situation. The qualifying tracks never quite develop the same as the race tracks do, and these guys also have their one main line really dialed in, and you can see that fast line has a nice big berm, but I'm seeing it getting rougher and rougher. And on these 250s where they need that acceleration, that roughness is definitely going to start to play a part, as there's a nice battle going on for, looks like the 5th and 6th spot. Ben Seberg all over Jordan Moxey.
Yeah, it looks like they are working their way around a lapper. 342, I believe, is Tyler Swigard. You're right, the track breaking down, you're starting to see some of those bumps coming into the corner, coming out of the corner. Oh!
Swigard, I think he was going to go wide to get out of the way, but he goes right into Ben Seberg. At least I hope that was what was going on there.
Yeah, and that's going to allow Gebhardt and Eaglin through. Here comes Harry White. Not going to get there, though. And Swigard's still trying to move out of the way, almost gets into Harry White now.
Is he trying to get out of the way, or is he trying to go headhunting? I'm not quite positive.
Harry White does make his way through. Gebhardt battling it out with Eaglin. Eaglin's got a great drive. I like to call that the little Stewart chasm. James Stewart had a monumental crash there one year. Gebhardt and Eaglin back and forth on the position, allowing Ben Seberg to close up. So over the line, we're on the lap number 7 now, just shy of halfway through this 30-minute plus 2-lap 250 Moto number 1 here at Southwick. And here's Seberg around the outside, is going to get the inside in the next corner on Colby Eaglin, who made a couple big mistakes that really cost him. Now Seberg's making some mistakes as well. And wow, Seberg all out of shape as Gebhardt down again. Backside of the old finish line jump here. Going to allow a couple riders to go through. There goes Harry White, and Gebhardt is going to get going behind Devin Ryan by the looks of it. And we'll hang on to that spot behind him. Battle continues between Eaglin and Seberg, though. Starting to see some of these coming into some of these corners. This is how rough it's starting to get. Halfway through this moto, like Chris was saying there, we're going to see some guys change up their lines, as you're already seeing Harry White actually have a beautiful line around the outside. Might get a twofer as he ends up alongside Ben Seberg, who is coming in from off the track. And White's still using those outside lines, but just finds his way off the edge of the course. Seberg trying to throw it down the inside of Eaglin. Almost crashed, but then got a great drive, and Harry White is still right behind both of them, waiting for that mistake from either one of them. Might have gotten it here with Seberg making a mistake. Look at White around the outside. Just a funnel back to the inside, though, and slides it out. So now it's Seberg versus Eaglin. Battle for 6th. And it's a fierce one. Two Zooks, but different teams. And look at that line from Seberg. Wow, just blew the doors off of Eaglin, who made a mistake around the outside. So Seberg goes into 6th as he sends it onto the flat up here. He's going to try to run down Jordan Moxey, who's in 5th. Tyler Lang is right behind Craig Leak. That is a battle for 3rd and 4th. We'll keep on this one here for a moment. Tyler Lang giving Craig Leak everything he can handle. You see Phil Bull just going out of the bottom of your screen there on the number 40 Team Volcom machine. He's still holding down the 2nd spot. But it's this battle for 3rd that we have our eyes focused in on. The 11 of Craig Leak. Former national winner. Way back in 2016, which isn't that long ago, but it seems like a long time since Leak's been near the top of his game. Having a great ride here at Southwick, though. Now open just a slight gap on Tyler Lang, so we'll go back up front and see your race leader, Jack Haley. Looking smooth and silky out front here in this Southwick sand. Just putting it all together in what is becoming a very dominant double championship campaign at this point after winning the 250 East Supercross title earlier this year very convincingly. So far has been almost unfazed outdoors. He's looking real strong out front. We'll do a quick little run through the field. This run through the field brought to you by the folks at Race Factory Gaming, who are the presenting sponsor of this Racetech National Motocross Series in MX Simulator this year. I think Chris knows a little something about Race Factory Gaming. But out front it is Jack Haley, number 57 Relaxa Tire Suzuki, red plate holder, championship leader, cruising this thing out front halfway through. Phil Bull, after leading early on, having a great battle with him, has settled back into second, the number 40 Team Vulcan machine. He's trying to hold off some of that pressure coming from behind him in the form of Craig Leak on the number 11 Evergood machine, who is now in a really tough fight here. Tyler Lang ripped that inside line and is suddenly right behind him once again, so we're going to stick with this battle for third just a little bit longer.
Ooh, Tyler Lang getting a little sideways, but he's still putting the pressure on.
And I think these guys are starting to throw caution to the wind a little bit. And the track can reach up and bite you real quick if you're doing that. They are not too far behind Phil Bull if they want second.
See Lang searching for a smooth line through where it's normally just a dominant inside. Definitely seeing it start to get choppy through the 20-minute mark.
Man, they are catching Phil Bull in a hurry. It's like Craig Leak made a mistake and saw Lang got to him, and suddenly he just turned up the intensity once again. Decided enough of that, I'm getting away. And I'm going after this man sitting in second, and suddenly he is there. Lappers kind of going through some of the main lines. And here is Leak all over Phil Bull. Great battle for second as Lang still lurks right there. Gotta ride it down on the inside, and they all have to kind of split out of that inside rut.
Lappers doing battle with the leaders who are doing battle. They don't know what to do or where to go. Guys everywhere. They just hit a thick group right in the midst of their battle. And Phil Bull has fallen into their clutches completely. Lang almost lands on Leak. What are they going to do down into the Buckley berm? Lang going to try to slingshot this outside line. That inside's pretty fast right now and grooved in.
Yeah. Ooh, Lang, small mistake
from Lang. The Leak is set out after Phil Bull.
Yeah, it seemed as though Phil Bull was having a tough time getting through the lappers. Not necessarily that they were holding him up on purpose or anything, but he just could not find his way through. Really allowed Leak to close up, and now we have a great battle going on here for second.
Nice job by that lapper. The 399, I believe it was, or 398, getting on out of the way for them.
At 96 or 98, I believe. Oh, Craig Leak just pushing the envelope, almost goes down, exiting that rut.
The rut developing right through the top of that finish line jump. Kind of catches these guys on the edge. Is Bull a mistake? Is Leak going to have the run?
I think he will, and he pulls up alongside, gets to the inside, makes that pass for second, and holds on. Here comes Lang, though.
This Bull's going to go back after that number 2 spot. Lang going to go after him. Nice 3-rider fight.
Yeah, Lang's carrying a ton of momentum, and he's trying to work this
Leak
outside as Leak goes down. Lang might get a twofer almost alongside Bull as they enter this back corner of the track here. Oh, these guys are ripping that rut right there.
Bull, a mistake, misses that inside. That's going to open the door for Lang.
Side by side. Lang's got the inside here as well, and he is going to take it and make that pass.
If you don't get that inside, you're in no man's land, but Lang hits the kicker on the way out. And Phil Bull says, thank you, boys. You gave me a challenge, and now I got a nice gap back. Craig Leak back into third. And Lang has to go back to work all over again, coming in for the number 4 ride.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, Chris, is those kickers starting to come up, and they really came up and bit Tyler Lang there as he just thought he had a smooth inside pass. Exiting the corner, got a big kick, and almost saved it Unfortunately, a fall-off crash, and we're back to basically square one where these guys all were about 5 laps ago.
Take a peek back to P6 and P7. A couple of guys who are salvaging what could have been terrible motos for them. First of all, I got to eat my words. Walty Gebhardt, I've said that I felt like he was going to fall apart. He's regrouped. He's going back forward, and he's putting pressure on Devin Ryan, who at one point had the whole shot taken out on lap number 1, and he's clawed his way all the way through the field to be on a 6th place spot and potentially knocking out a top 5 finish before the end of this.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think he has the speed to run up front here today. We'll have to see if he can get another good start in that second moto. Maybe challenge with some of our front runners. Obviously, Gebhardt always has the speed to run up front. It's really about putting it all together in the motos, which he can do for sure.
Those guys are going to be right on Seberg, who's down right now. He's going to be getting up right in front of them, so we're going to have a 3-rider fight here as well. Wow. Not quite as close as I thought it was going to be, but pretty close. There's a rider down here on the inside. Is Ryan going to be able to get around him? Yes, he is. At least he gets back going.
On board with Gebhardt right now as we get a good view of where the track is again. And man, he has got a great run here on Devin Ryan. Let's see if he uses this inside line to his advantage. He's trying to make it work, and he gets the line. Holds it into the next corner and makes that pass. So Ryan actually went down.
Just a quick update. Lappers are absolutely intense right now. Jack Haley just had to split 3 riders that were all down together during a 4th gear straightaway. Somehow found his way through, but he only has an 8-second lead. This race is not over, even though he's been pretty much by himself the whole time. Phil Bull has not let him go.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like the back half of the field is starting to crumble a little bit. We're seeing more and more riders down. And on board with Haley, you're going to see just how rough this track is starting to get here at Southwick. Of course, we reset the road after the end of each moto, so these guys will not be graced with this exact same track the next moto. And it'll break down, not entirely different, but definitely some different lines and the way it forms, I'm sure. Looks like Haley's been able to regroup though from those couple mistakes as you mentioned. Put the hammer back down, he's opened it out to almost 12 seconds right now.
Yeah, when we were talking about it, Phil Bull actually made a mistake and missed one of those key inside lines and almost went off the bike. So now he's actually not that far in front of Tyler Lang, who Lang, I would say, carries some of the most corner speed out of anyone into the corners. He's landing into these ruts with so much confidence and just slingshotting around. It's also probably part of the reason he's had some big mistakes. And Phil Bull somehow does a 720 or something, saves it, and relinquishes the number 2 spot. Doesn't fall off the bike, though, so he still has a chance to fight back.
Lang at the end of the straightaway right in front of him. Sorry to cut you off, Chris, but he went down as well, so that's going to change that right back again. And here comes Craig Leake trying to get up to Tyler Lang.
That straightaway is brutal right now. Leake somehow stays on the bike.
It's getting treacherous.
25 minutes into the moto. Jack Haley leads the way. Phil Bull second. Tyler Lang in third. Craig Leake through that whoop section before the finish, now into 4th. Walter Gebhardt slots into 5th, quite a ways behind. Ben Seberg not far off of him. That face on that table is getting pretty chewed up as well. That'll be something to keep an eye on. Then Sean Klein makes it up to 7th, so yeah. Klein in salvage mode.
Not a bad ride. Given the speed everybody's going here, it seems like the top 10 or 15 guys can pretty much run a similar pace. So Klein climbing his way up here is pretty good.
Devin Ryan at 240 last time around. Drops it back down to a 223 that time, which isn't crazy fast, but it's much more on pace. So he had some big mistakes last time around. Kobe Eaglin finds himself up into the 9th spot, and Harry White still hanging out in the top 10, back in 10th. That is your top 10 right now.
Isaiah Dickerson just went down, so Hollenbeck's trying to close up. Moxie, Batchlet, Janice French, Mora, Brett Powers, Alana Salas, Trent Shepard, Jack Gatlin, Jacob Hubbard, and then Colton Mitchell coming around Kevin Gonzalez. Mitchell is in 23rd, and your defending champion is looking at a big goose egg if he can't make up a few more spots here in this moto.
Battle is on right now for the number 5 spot as Seberg has caught Walter Gebhardt.
And they just got around Craig Leak, who was getting up from a crash right there. So he's getting right into the mix.
Seberg carrying a lot of momentum. Is it going to be enough to get around Leak? Leak throws it sideways, too far sideways, and takes them both down on the ground. You know who can capitalize on that is Sean Klein's going to be really close to these guys when they get up and going.
Well, I was about to say they're very fortunate that there's no lappers or another rider coming right there, because they're in a very precariously bad spot on that landing. But they both get going just ahead of Klein, as you mentioned, and really could be a benefactor here, getting a couple more spots late in this moto.
Bad news for Klein, even with salvaging those, is Jack Haley out getting max points yet again. He is on fire with a 20-second gap. And man, I'm just watching him right now. He's hopping around this track. Looks like Christophe Porcel out there just jumping the braking bumps. A little Marvin Musquin in him. Sure Haley's not French?
I don't know if you could make this full assumption, Chris, but I feel like Sean Klein is a little bit like the Joey Savacci of MX Simulator. Like, always in the championship hunt, always has race-winning speed, but just has, like, things not always go his way or just really off nights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, is he redheaded?
I mean, if it stays kind of the way it's been with Mitchell kind of falling off as the season moves into the second half, it's very likely Klein will end up second in this championship behind Haley as we move forward. And that'll be the second year in a row where Klein is the second best outdoors as he gets around Craig Leak, who is down. No doubt Klein has the speed, but just has some tough luck when it comes to starts or just battling for the lead. Kind of stagnated a little bit here, though, as Haley continues to lead. And he will not make it back to the line before time expires. So we're coming up to 2 laps to go here at Southwick, Moto number 1 of the 250 class. And it has been pretty much all Jack Haley. Did not get the start, but was right up front where he needed to be. Took advantage of a couple early mistakes and then got around Phil Bull for the race lead about 6-7 minutes in, and has not looked back.
Oh boy, Tyler Lang has climbed up all over the back of Phil Bull once again. He's going to try to finish this once and for all.
Man, these Relaxa Tire guys are a different breed this outdoor season.
T. Lang spends a lot of time in the road test, so I know he has a lot of time on some rough tracks, and he seems to excel when they get rough. And actually, the very first road test we did on Southwick, he was in there with some of the top 450 guys and dominated on the 250 even. So he was gelling with this track from day one. And Phil Bull becomes one with the track in the form of a faceplant right into the sand and surrenders the number 2 spot. But can Lang hold on this time? He's been here before and relinquished it with a crash.
And Craig Leak has lost a lot of time. He is all the way outside of the top 10. And he was battling for second not 2 or 3 laps ago. So it's been a rough couple of laps here for the 11. Did a 250 last time by. Very curious to see his lap time this time through.
Yeah, unfortunately, Garrett Hollenbeck actually just hit the deck. He was the next one behind Leak, and if he would have been able to get Leak, we would have had 5 Relaxa Tire guys in the top 10.
Wow, 250 followed by a 244 for Leak. Gonna get Harry White, who just went over the bars after the finish line, though, so he is in 9th, but yeah, he has lost a ton of time in 2 laps. Oh, and Klein was down, and just as Ben Seberg got there, he went down, so that's going to allow Devin Ryan to go back through. So a couple change of positions here late. These guys are on 2 laps to go. It's about to be white flag for your race leader, Haley's. A few corners away from getting that one. You'll see the green marker in the upper right-hand corner of your screen change to a white marker, and it'll say lap 15. Looks like Lang is doing a decent enough job at keeping this gap between himself and Phil Bull pretty steady, so I don't see that changing unless, of course, another Lang crash, as you mentioned. And Devin Ryan just went down again, but Eagland is not going to get to him. Harry White's kind of all alone. Isaiah Dickerson, Craig Leak, Jordan Moxie's pretty close to Craig Leak. Everybody's kind of separated though. Hollenbeck, Bachelet, Janice, Mora, French, Shepard, Brett Powers looking strong in the points. Oh, and then he almost went to the moon right there. Jacob Warden. And here is Colton Mitchell, who is 21st place. He has Alana Solis right behind him. He has to go get Jake Warden to get that 1 point if he wants it. Alana Solis is all over him. Brett Powers just went down. He was in 17th. He's back to 19th. And it's pretty well organized itself here. Jack Haley has about a half lap to go here. He'll wrap up another Moto victory here. Southwick Moto number 1. Creeping up to the halfway point in this season after the second Moto coming up here, and Haley's definitely opened up a very commanding championship lead at this point. Talked a little bit about it in Supercross, but this is kind of like the previous couple of years that we've seen Jack Haley, but on steroids almost, because he's always been really fast and smooth and consistent and just really anything you can imagine, and he's always been in the 450 class, so this is his first year dropping down racing full-time 250s. And in the 450 class, he was no doubt a top 5 guy, week in and week out. But you just didn't see these types of rides out of him there. And now it just happens regularly, the 250 class, week after week, consistent, fast, and practically unbeatable as he comes out of the final corner, and Moto number 1 at Southwick goes to Jack Haley with a front flip to boot. Dominating win, and he's going to make it a relaxed attire 1-2 as long as his teammate Tyler Lang can hang on here. Phil Bull is trying to put on a late charge. It's not going to come through for Phil Bull though. Looks like Lang has got this thing all but sorted out. Just got to get over this tricky tabletop here one more time, and he is in the clear. So Lang will come through, pick up second place here, make it a relaxed attire 1-2 as mentioned, and Phil Bull, Team Volcom, rounds out the podium here in Moto number 1 at Southwick. Gebhardt, Seberg, top 5. Devin Ryan just put Colton Mitchell a lap down. Here comes Sean Klein and Colby Eagland. So this could still be a battle to the line here as Klein gets all out of shape, and he is going to lose a ton of momentum as Eagland comes up right behind him. Oh, these two guys are going for it through this back section here. Klein lays it into this corner. Wow, he absolutely destroyed that rut. And into the final corner, Klein will just hold off Eagland. 0.8 of a second. Never know what it could come down to when it factors in cuts, though. Harry White and Jordan Moxie actually has Craig Leak trying to look down the inside here. This is for 10th. Who's going to round out the top 10 in Moto number 1? The number 11 or the number 20? And it looks like it's going to be the number 11 as Moxie made a huge mistake. Super scrubbed, just able to crowd that thing back together, but Leak will come through and put it in the top 10 here. Moxie 11th. Isaiah Dickerson looks like he is going to hang on here for 12th. And Garrett Hollenbeck is the last rider on the lead lap here in 13th spot. So he will come through. Daniel Bachelet was 14th, Janice 15th, French 16th, Morris 17th, Shepard 18th, Powers was 19th, and Warden was 20th. Your defending champion, no points. Moto number 1 at Southwick. We'll confirm that the results stayed the same.
Ooh, big
Actually,
jump.
yeah, Devin Ryan lost 2 positions, so Klein and Eaglin goes through on Devin Ryan, who had 7.7 seconds of cuts. That is incredible. And everything else above that stayed the same. So it is still Haley, Lang, Bull, your top, or your podium. Gebhardt, Seberg round out the top 5, but a change. Sean Klein goes to 6th, Eaglin goes to 7th, Devin Ryan 8th, Harry White 9th, and Craig Leake 10th. So that is Moto number 1 at Southwick. I think we have a 5-minute break coming up. Yes, we do. 5-minute break before Moto 2.
I didn't mention our versuspc.com one to watch, Edward Mora, but he did finish 17th. So we had a little bit too much action, and I was a little bit too preoccupied to give him any love other than on the start.
Well, we have a little 5-minute break. Chris, you want to tell us what's going on with Race Tech these days? Give us a little insight to the best suspension in the business.
Suspension, gold valves, bro, dirt bikes, Harleys, quads, gold wings. You name it, we're dialing it in, and then we're building some mad horsepower engines. Oh yeah. We got Loretta's coming up, and pretty excited as always to make the journey down to the good old ranch. If you're down there, come see me at the Race Tech tent, as long as you're not going to be a douchebag. If you're going to be a douchebag, then keep on walking. But I'm excited. I know a lot of our sim players and community are going to be heading down to the ranch. Best of luck to those racing. So pretty excited about that. That's a annual trip for me, and it's always hot as balls, but other than that, super fun. And if you want to catch me when I'm not so busy, catch me after hours at the beer tent.
I was going to say that it's about a 50-50 chance. You'll either catch them at the Race Tech tent or the beer tent. Either way, you'll see Chris.
One way or another, you'll find me, and to find me at the beer tent, just find Mr. Burkeen, and we'll be going bar to bar for the beer tent championship. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it last year, so he was able to take the crown, but only in my absence. I got to reclaim my crown. And I can promise that Burkeen does as many front flips at the beer tent as he does here in MX Simulator.
Oh, I believe it. Another day, another beer.
That was some sweet background noise. Was that YZ piping up?
That's YZ.
DT still runs, so round 2.
One and only Nathan Zaworski dropping by with some funsies.
I've been here the whole time.
I know you've been here the whole time. I'm just saying now you're dropping in with the drops. I see both of you guys, Chris and Nate, are getting ready to square off in these 450 motos we have coming up here in about 45 minutes.
If I get in.
Yeah, well, Chris bumped you out of qualifying.
Nah, he was in front of me the whole time.
I still haven't fully decided if I'm racing or commentating yet. I'm definitely not good at either, but I'm better at commentating than racing.
Trying both.
I don't think that'd work too good. Although I have been known, the last time I raced was about 2 years ago, and I did about 5 laps or 4 laps or so, and then I just pulled over and commentated. So maybe we'll try that.
Got a question in chat that I wanted to answer from Twitch chat. Motor Racing TV asked if I can open this up to you too, Chris, if we believe that AMs should be able to race the pro races, and I'll just offer my quick opinion real quick, and I'm going to just say, no, I don't believe they should. AM races, while there are definitely some guys in that class that are fast enough to compete on the pro scene, the pro scene is really more or less, they're trying to keep the guys in the pro scene that are, good at racing, like not speed-wise, but like, they don't make you know, dumb decisions. If they're getting lapped, they don't swerve back and forth across the track. They are respectable with other racers. They're good, clean, hard racers, and they're consistent too. You can be really fast in the amateur class and still get your doors blown off in the pro class. So that's why I would say no. But Chris, maybe you can elaborate further on that whole shebang.
I mean, it seems to the lesser experienced riders, and I mean, we see it a lot with the lap traffic here in the outdoor season, because there's guys in the pro class that aren't near the speed, but they're able to qualify with the lower entries, and it causes way more lap traffic. And a lot of times they don't try to get in the way, but because of a lack of skill, they make a mistake and get in the way. Not good. I was thinking about this week that I wouldn't mind going to is now that our community numbers are, you know, they're getting lower. The game's been out for like 10 years, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing something different.
I think it would be okay, but maybe like a certain threshold, because if you just suddenly have a huge influx of amateur guys trying to qualify, you're gonna push out some guys that are good at racing but maybe not as good at qualifying, and allow some amateur guys in that are horrible at racing but just really, really fast hot lappers. So I think, you know, like that's almost why the limited qualifying that we did for Supercross, I think I'd be okay with that, amateurs being involved in that, because it really forces them to have to like learn the track fast and so on and so forth. But this format outdoors, where you get multiple days to qualify, you'll get guys that are really fast amateurs that lay down a time that gets them in 15th place maybe, and they're in the motos, but then they can't go out and put two motos together and they go 35, 32 and are kind of in the way, as we mentioned. So like I said, just I think that there's plenty of amateurs out there that still could make a pro national, but that's why it's like it the way it is. All right, warm-up lap for Moto number 2. Chris, do you have a perhaps a versus PC one to watch for us this one?
Sounds like a no.
All right, well, I will find one myself then. Let's see if there's somebody we haven't talked much about this outdoor campaign that probably deserves a little bit of love and attention. How about versus PC one to watch? We shall do. Let's do Jarrett Gaskew, BPC number 256. Gaskew is making his return to MX Simulator Racing after a couple-year hiatus, and we haven't seen much of him outdoors. So we'll have versus PC one to watch this moto. Jarrett Gaskew.
I'm going to put $50 on him. No, not $50, but I'm going to guess he's going to rage quit. Sorry, I had a mild interruption. Welcome to my life. But he was strongly complaining in chat between motos about the road. So. Ooh,
that's no good. Was he one of the few, or was it?
Yeah, it wasn't too many.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few, don't get me wrong, but it's not like normal where everyone was freaking out.
No, I was going to say, I thought the road was great, that moto. I didn't think it broke down nearly as bad as some of the races we've seen this year, which, in my opinion, I didn't even think was bad enough to begin with, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will say that I said at the beginning of the week that I would absolutely not live with the Southwick being completely smooth. That would be a disgrace. So if there's one track on the series that needs to be rough, it's the Wick.
I hear you. All right, we're going to take a look at Devin Ryan as he got the whole shot in the first moto, and he's going to try to make amends for that early crash. It's time for moto number 2 of the 250 class here at Southwick. Another good start out of Ryan. He's got Haley on his inside, but he's going to beat everybody to the corner, and there it is. MXS EMF whole shot goes to Devin Ryan, and he's got his teammate Jack Haley right in tow. So another great start for Haley. Is not what everybody else wants to see, as we mentioned. And he's already actually going after the lead here, looking inside on his teammate, and they both go down! Contact between the teammates for the race lead causes a huge pileup.
Poor Devin Ryan. Good starts both motos and a few turns in. Hits the deck both times. He's got a lot of work to do.
What a weird fall for the teammates as it puts Jordan Moxey out front. Craig Leake moves into second. Jack Gatlin is in third. And here is Colton Mitchell trying to get around Tyler Swigard for fourth.
Swigard gets kicked from Moto number 1 for being a terrible lapper. He has a good start here in Moto 2. Can he run the pace? Let's see.
What in
and
the...
he already collides with Matthias Janis.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
What the heck has happened here at Southwick? We have a dramatic twist in perhaps our overall scores, if not even championship implications. If this is a bad moto for Haley and we can have a huge turnaround for Mitchell.
Yeah, a lot of racing left to go, but a much better start for Mitchell and also a much better start for Jordan Moxey, who we didn't see halfway through that last moto. And then he found himself up near that top 5 spot. So Moxey clearly had some speed and some good lines. Craig Leake was very fast at the beginning of Moto number 1. Let's hope that Craig Leake can finish it all the way here in Moto number 2.
Yeah, and we saw actually Moxey and Craig Leake. They had a battle of the lifetime to the line for 10th place. Now they're trying to move up 9 spots and make it a battle to the line for first. As Moxey will lead lap number 1 here. And he's hoping in about 15 laps he will still be your race leader. He's got Craig Leake hot on his heels. Jack Gatlin, Colton Mitchell, Sean Klein, also a good start. So your second and third in the championship entering tonight are up front. Brett Powers is also up front. He's got Phil Bull looking inside. He's got Edward Moore right behind him. Jacob Hubbard is there. And he looks a little flustered as everybody's starting to swarm around him. Dakota French also trying to sneak into the picture. So Bull goes through, Moore goes through, and Hubbard right there with French right behind him. Go back to see Eagland, Dickerson, Lang, Janis, Gaskew, our versus PC one to watch, is right in front of Shepard. Harry White, Ivan Medina, Garrett Hollenbeck, and then your points leader Jack Haley comes through. Looks like he is just outside of the top 20 right now, I believe.
I think that we're going to start calling Phil Bull a ninja because I saw him on lap 1 outside the top 25 and he's up to 6th already as we're just getting lap 2 going on. So Phil Bull made some quick moves, obviously avoided some crashes, so he needs to give his spotter a little bonus. I'm guessing he has one to avoid that many crashes. As I just saw the number 20 of Moxey flipping off the track, he's all the way back to 9th.
We had a change for the lead and now Moxey's Moxey's down again, but Craig Leake goes to the front. That moves Mitchell to second and Klein to third as they both also got around Gatland.
Klein had a much better Moto number 1, so let's see if he can carry that momentum here into Moto 2 with a much better start. He carries a lot of speed up along the inside of Mitchell.
Yeah, these two guys really want to make amends on what's not been the best
both
day.
Both make a mistake there.
Gatlin.
Jack Gatlin going to capitalize. That was a nice corner from Gatlin. And that's Phil Bull, the ninja, up to 4th.
My math is kind of all over the table here, but I believe as we run, Phil Bull is in the spot for the overall on a 3-4. It might be a 3-3 as he almost jumps on top of Sean Klein.
So he used the smooth line and a lot of momentum around the outside. Is it going to be enough to close the door coming into the turn? He's just going to keep going the long way around.
And he ripped
he's gonna
it.
Make it.
Klein also made a small mistake, but still Bull was on the gas. I don't think I heard him lift.
So Phil Bull, maybe that's how he went from 25th all the way up to 3rd in 2 laps, because he just used a line that, well, I haven't seen really anyone use it for a pass all week long around that outside. It's been the slow line, but I guess that inside just not developed yet and just carried the momentum extremely well.
Yep. Looking back, we see a battle between Edward Moore and Isaiah Dickerson. Brett Powers not too far behind them, running in 7th.
Grab yourself a donut.
Yeah, man, Powers has looked good here at Southwick. He's had a pretty decent outdoor season, got a couple points this year so far. But tonight he has ridden very well. 19th in the first moto, but he doesn't really show what he was able to accomplish running inside of the top 15 for a lot of it. Now runs 7th. We'll see what he can convert in this second moto. He's got Janice closing in, then Hubbard, Lang right behind him.
Battle for 5th is on right now. Isaiah Dickerson all over the back of Edward Mora, who was our VersusPC.com one to watch that we didn't watch in the first moto. But much better start here going for Mora. He was 17th in moto number 1. And Dickerson also a rough moto number 1 for the speedy MV Films rider on the number 6.5.
And you'll hear these 250 guys as we're on board with Dickerson. Oh!
Bar drag.
Yeah. I was just about to say, you'll hear these guys wringing the neck of this 250F though. Even off the jumps, they're just wide open everywhere. A lot of these jumps too, the way that they're set up and on a 250F, it's much more doable. You can kind of hit them wide open and land to flat, and oftentimes it's faster. Oh, he might get a pass here. He's pulling alongside of Mora as it's a drag race.
I actually played a little bit on the 250 earlier today, and holy cow, is it not just, it's mentally draining and drains your thumb because you have to keep it pinned. The momentum's so important here. As Dickerson aggressive on Mora, puts them both down. Here comes MV Films rider Matthias Janis to try to capitalize.
Oh, double fall off. So
that's rage inducing. I was just going to say you have to keep it pinned, so you have to be very focused, and you're kind of letting it swap a little bit and slide and counteracting with your countersteering with your thumb all the time. It is it's draining and demanding mentally to stay focused.
Right. Boy, Jack Haley has made some very quick amends for that early race mistake with Devin Ryan. He is already, look, he's passing Jacob Hubbard for 7th right now. We're 7.5 minutes in.
Come on up to the battle for the 3 spot right now. Phil Bull, Sean Klein are doing battle right behind Colton Mitchell. It is fierce right now. Sorry to cut you off, but I didn't want you to miss this action.
Definitely not, as Craig Leake is leading, but man, that lead is actually coming down. And I'll tell you what, the aggressor in all this is Phil Bull. He is going faster than everybody in this top 4. Got around Klein. Mitchell's actually getting slightly away, and now Klein's going back on Phil Bull and makes that pass, had the advantage on the inside. Great action here at Southwick. Battle for the lead is definitely brewing as Craig Leake leads. Little Evergood sandwich as it's Leake leading the Private Garmin team, I guess, of Colton Mitchell. Priva Garmin. Although, what team is that actually? What is he on? I can't see that.
He is not on a team anymore, I don't believe.
No, I know, but the bike that he's on, that's still the ART Racecraft decal bike.
I don't know. Some of these guys jump around teams more than, well, never mind. I'm not going to go there, but you all know what I was going to say.
Jump around a little bit more than the tub thumping song, you might say?
Yeah, that would work.
Oh, man. Mitchell, huge
jumping
swap.
around. His back wheel is jumping around everywhere right now. Colton Mitchell, www.racetech.com. Get yourself dialed in with some suspenders already.
That definitely allowed Sean Klein to get right back up behind him again. Bill Bull, Mora, and now Haley up to 6th. Going after Mora.
And we're getting real close to that 10-minute mark, which we saw in Moto number 1. About 10 to 12 minutes was when the track was at its fastest before it started to really start to get choppy and slow back down.
Yeah, these guys all running a very similar pace right here at the front. I haven't seen much change in the gaps since we came up to this front battle again, although Phil Bull's kind of losing touch with Klein just ever so slightly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think these guys have changed their throttle position much from wide open this whole race either.
Maybe that's why Devin Davis always did good at Southwick, because he had a button throttle.
Just holding their wick to everywhere,
yeah.
Using the gears to slow down a little bit and Steer, steer, steer.
And Klein is just giving Colton Mitchell everything he can handle for this second spot.
And they're definitely putting a dent into Craig Leake's lead once again. I'm watching Klein, and I'm like, man, I don't think you could go any faster around the track, but yet he's not really closing on Mitchell any. There he does, but...
Yeah, it's almost like he'd be catching your leader a little bit faster than Mitchell is right now if he had clear track. Obviously has Mitchell right in front of him, so can't quite go as fast as he absolutely wants to, but you're right, he's definitely ripping this track apart. Might have a line.
He's got to run.
Oh, he jumps into the valley and pulls alongside. Does he get the drive? Yes, he does.
Mitchell tried to close the door on him, and luckily he backed out of it at the last second there. Now can Mitchell come back?
Well, now Klein has that clear track that I just mentioned, and he is already setting sail after Craig Leake.
Leake threw a sick turn down scrub over the table. That a boy.
I got to bring back some shots for dualies. I got to get these guys whipping more.
Shots, 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 shots. Speaking of that, if this racing wasn't so good, I was going to duck out to the store and get myself something to drink for the 450s, but I don't know if I'll be able to sneak away.
Yeah, this is great action. 1, 2, and 3 on the track or on your screen right now. It's actually an ever good 1-2, just noticed though. So we had a Relaxatire 1-2, Moto number 1, Devin Ryan and Tyler Lang, and now it's Craig Leake and Sean Klein. Where was this Colton Mitchell in Moto 1 though? I'm telling you, I know he is not necessarily the fastest at the front, but this is nowhere near the level of speed he had in that first moto. I mean, he got lapped and then some, and now it looks like he is one of the 5 fastest guys on the track.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, we were just talking about a little bit ago, the focus that it takes to go fast here, especially on a 250, and when you're not in your groove, you have guys running into you in the back of the pack, you can't get going, you're falling down. It's hard to keep that focus on racing forward and being smooth instead of getting frustrated.
Ooh, Leake just threw dirty again. It's making you happy, Chris.
Yeah, that a boy. Nice to see Craig Leake back at the front of the field where he belongs as well. He's had some not so good races at the beginning of the season, but he's kind of turning it around.
Yeah, Craig Leake definitely had a really, really strong 2016 season in MX Simulator. Earned that career number 11. And since has kind of struggled. Did not have a great 2017. As he mentioned, was not that strong in Supercross or even at the beginning of Nationals here. He's had some moments here and there that you're like, oh, the old Craig Leake is still there. And this is definitely one of those moments.
Yeah, I got some bad news for him. His fast lap's a 2:17.5. Sean Klein's is a 2:14.8. Quite the difference there.
Woo! Klein blew that inside rut though, and I don't know how he corralled it back together and didn't go off the track because it looked like he was beelining out of there, but he saved it and still held on to second. Oh, not for long. Oh, what a save. Oh, man. Oh, man. Got all out of shape and then got a little nudge. 2 huge saves back to back.
Well, this is separated and we're almost to the halfway point. Let's go ahead and nail down one of those top 10 rundowns. Let's bring this one here to you by, well, who was the first Moto one by, Kellen?
Race Factory Gaming, as Craig Leake just made a mistake for the lead.
Mistake, so we now have a battle, so now we're not going to do that. I wanted to do a little lap time check as well as we went through the top 10, but now we have a battle. Colton Mitchell going to go put the number 1 in the number 1 spot. He wants to anyways. Now, Craig put the double ones in the number 1 spot.
His little kicker halfway up that hill, and I thought Leake was going to just get pitched over the bars, but he just had enough run out at the top that it was able to stabilize before he took off the top, and now he's getting out of shape. He's off the track.
Oh, I thought he was going to go head on into oncoming traffic, but he's able to keep it together, but not enough to keep the lead. Colton Mitchell into the number 1 ride. His fast lap, 2:15.6, and that was last time around. So the number 1 into the number 1 ride. Into second now, Craig Leake, 2:15.7 lap time for him. Sean Klein, of course, we had that 2:14.8, runs into 3rd spot, and he's still right there behind Craig Leake. So I don't even want to separate from this battle. I'll go ahead and talk about the top 10 while we watch it unfold here at the front. Phil Bull is slided into the 4th spot. He has a 2:17.7 and a whole lot of pressure from Jack Haley. Last lap around 2:14 flat. So Haley is laying the burners down, and he's definitely not out of winning this moto as we hit the halfway point. Haley does go down, not off the bike though, but it's going to lose him some time. He's got a lot of work to do. Back in 6th, Isaiah Dickerson, 2:15.7, MV Films number 65. And find after a good first moto, a nice second moto going here right now for Tyler Lang on the Relaxed Tire number 71, 2:18.2. He just hit the deck though. He's going to surrender the spot. Every good rider, Edward Moore, 2:19.8. Harry White also slides by. He has a 2:16.8. TM Factory Racing right into 8th. Lang goes back into 9th now. And rounding out your top 10 rundown, Matthias Janis, MV Films, 2:17.9 fast lap thus far.
I just want to say, while you were going through that, Craig Leak went up and over the bars in that back section and coughed up 2nd spot, and also coughed up 3rd as Phil Bull goes back through. And now Leak's down again, so here goes Haley through into 4th. I was just about to mention how overalls are really close right now with Haley on 1.5 and Bull on 3.3. But that just totally changed. Haley's definitely in line for the overall victory now.
Holy cow, Colton Mitchell just about got cleaned out by a lapper rejoining the race. Trying to see who that was. He literally came over that bottom berm that they're all railing the outside of, and came over it wide open right in the middle of the turn. Almost took our leader out.
So for the time being, Mitchell has about a 2.5 second lead right here on Sean Klein, so it's opened up just a tiny bit. Then Phil Bull and Jack Haley, and Haley seems to be the aggressor of the two here. Obviously, he had a mistake last lap that cost him some time, but he is reeling in Phil Bull hand over fist when it comes to time at the moment. And there he goes, maybe. He might have just gotten the pass done. Oh, he's trying to go down the left side of the track. He's all out of shape. Phil Bull's trying to hang on around the outside, but Haley makes the pass up into 3rd. This is just what we were talking about at the end of that first moto with Jack Haley. Just started up front, but crashed with his teammate Devin Ryan and has been flying through the field. These guys almost have no answer for him. I'm interested to see if he can't still win this moto with 12 minutes and 2 laps to go.
And a much more demanding track in front of them for sure.
Looking back a little further, see if I can't find myself a battle somewhere. Maybe Moxie and Eagland are the closest, or French, Hollenbeck, Gebhardt are pretty close together too, 13, 14, 15, but they're pretty far back here. Actually, I want to go find Devin Ryan if I can. Here he is. 2 hole shots, and Devin Ryan has probably had to pass the most people here tonight. And I don't think he's going to be too happy with his teammate after this. While we're at it, let's go back and find our versus PC one to watch. This moto, Jarrett Gaskew has not rage quit yet, Chris, but he is holding down 23rd. He just ripped that outside and right up over a hay bale, so he is down again. It looks like he was just about to make a pass, and he's on the deck. So versus PC one to watch, taking some soil samples. But he's up and going. He's still in 23rd. Battle for the last point here. Ivan Medina and Trent Shepard going at it. Actually, they are, well, Solis was getting up from a crash, and I think they're both going to go through. Medina's trying to make that pass stick on the inside. Solis trying to rip around the outside. Will hold the spot over the finish line. Yes, he will. Nice line. Moore is right in front of them. Devin Ryan just made the pass on Donut MX Brett Powers, so Powers still in 17th here. And Gebhardt also just getting up from a crash, so here goes Devin Ryan around the outside of him, and Moxie just got up from a crash too, so there's guys all mixed in here. Devin Ryan trying to go to the inside of Moxie and puts him down. Donut MX into the back of him. And here comes Shepard. He has to cut down. Solace puts Moxie down again. Mora gets hung up. Ivan Medina goes through. These guys are having a slow battle of the corner. And Moxie down again. Oh, Jordan Moxie. Colby Eagland. Almost into the side of Jacob Hubbard. That was a great battle. That was for 11th, I believe. Harry White not too far behind Matthias Janis, Tyler Lang, Isaiah Dickerson, Craig Leak. Phil Bull is down in the last corner. Will not lose a spot to Craig Leak, though. Jack Haley, Sean Klein, and your race leader Colton Mitchell still going here. 21 minutes and some change into this moto. Definitely getting a little bit of a lead going on Klein. Let's take a look at the gap to Haley. It's 11.4 seconds. And Haley did not gain time last lap, but Colton Mitchell gained time on both of them. Let's go on board with Haley here for a couple, maybe half a lap, see if he can't claw in a little bit more time. Oh, that's not going to help. Ew, slides it down, saves it though. Nice save. Could have been a lot worse and does not lose a position because of it. Well, he wouldn't have lost one anyway. Phil Bull is back there. And Dickerson just got around Craig Leak, who continues to kind of fall apart in the second half of this moto. So here comes Tyler Lang. Remember, it wasn't but about 6 minutes ago, Craig Leak was leading this race. Now he's back here battling for 6th. And he is all over the place and down. Up and over the bars goes the 11 of Craig Leak. And he's going to lose a spot to Lang and Matthias Janis and get going.
Just past Buckley Corner, Brim.
Ooh, yeah. Jack Haley has lost a lot of time after that crash. This looks like it's going to be Colt Mitchell's race to lose. And in the scorebook, it's actually going to show up as a DNS and then a 1. Which is crazy. 21st and a 1. I can't remember the last time I saw that score. It's like Lang was just getting up from a crash. Janis now in front of Craig Leak. Harry White, Eagland, Hubbard, French. Here's Gebhardt going inside on French. He's going to make that pass easy. That inside line is mega OP. Always fast is Walter Gebhardt. There's no question about that. Sometimes it starts, sometimes it crashes. But has just not been able to put it together at the front yet for race victories this season.
Sean Klein in second, heading into about a pack of 3 lappers here. See if they play nice with him.
I don't know, lappers never seem to do that.
Yeah. Well, they're all battling too, it looks like, so that's even worst case for him.
It looks like maybe Jack Gatlin looks like it might be 1 on the TM Factory Racing Machine. He is moving out of the way very nicely there. Then 182 is going
Our
down.
leader's down.
Oh, leader down?
I believe so. Just got up and going.
Colt Mitchell?
No, sorry, Haley. It's Haley. I'm used to Haley leading. Sorry, I'm watching
You're
in the back.
You're freaking me out, man.
Keeping an eye on lappers here, making sure they're not causing problems, but my bad, bro, my bad.
It was Haley that was down, though, as Phil Bull is all over him here for 3rd.
Yeah, Haley's about 32 seconds back from second place right now.
I think they just lapped Jordan Moxey, who is falling apart right now, I'll tell you that.
He had some issues with the 342 of Swigard and decided to do a little vigilante justice, which caused him to go down a couple times as well.
Yeah, we saw little moments there not too long ago where Moxie was in about 14th and he crashed 3 times, and when we left him he was about 24th, and it's just going from bad to worse, it seems. So Phil Bull's trying to keep Haley right in front of him here, but he's actually slowly losing ground to him. Then we got Isaiah Dickerson, Tyler Lang. Lang's trying to maybe end up on the overall podium here, despite the fact that he's down here in 6th. A 2.6 just might get him 3rd overall. I believe as we run, it's going to be Haley with the overall victory. I think Phil Bull will get 2nd. Well, 3.4, 2.6. Maybe a 2.6 beats a 3.4. No. 3.4 still beats a 2.6. So I think Phil Bull on a 3.4 goes 2nd here, and then a 2.6 for Lang would be good enough for 3rd overall. And then Klein was 6th in Moto 1? It was either 5th or 6th. If he was 6th, that means he ties Lang, so yeah, he would actually beat Lang onto the podium, but be behind Phil Bull. It's all scattered out. It doesn't help that the guy leading the race right now was 21st in Moto 1. Oh, Klein almost through the front door. Huge, huge endo. Good save. Losing ground every lap though to race leader Colton Mitchell. And it wasn't for a few Haley mistakes, I think Haley would be a little bit closer here. So I think podium-wise, Lang's going to be the guy to keep an eye on here. If he can make another pass, it might just move him in a 2nd overall. All right, so 28 minutes and some change into this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a Race Tech run through the field, brought to you of course by the fine folks at Race Tech Suspension. It's gonna go 1 whole lap here from this point of the track. That is race leader Colton Mitchell. We'll see him disappear off into the background in just a second. Coming through next should be 2nd place man Sean Klein. So there goes Mitchell over the tabletop in the background. Here is Klein on the 10 coming up and over the hill. Oh, leader down in the background. You see Mitchell, he is down. See if he gets going. That's Alana Solis a lap down. So now you can see that gap. That's Mitchell and then Klein. You'll see how far apart they are now. It's about down to about 5 seconds by the looks of it. And then a huge old gap back here. Haley should be coming through in 3rd. It's Jack Gatlin a lap down. There's Haley in 3rd. Jarrett Gaskew, our versus PC one to watch, also a lap down. Phil Bull in 4th. 873, not sure who that is. There's Isaiah Dickerson in 5th. Tyler Lang in 6th. 873 is Dale Mullins. He is in 22nd. Our versus PC one to watch. Jarrett Gaskew is in 21st, trying to pick up a point right now. There's Jake Warden, a lap down. Daniel Batchelot, a lap down. Man, these gaps are monumental between our leaders. There is so much time. Moxie also a lap down. Then Matthias Janis comes through. That is 6th, or I'm sorry, 7th. Craig Leakin 8th on the 11. 9th for Eagland, 891. He just went through right there. There's 10th Hubbard, 11th Devin Ryan, and 12th Harry White. And is 13th Dakota French? It might have been. Yes, it was. There's 14th Walter Gebhardt. 15th in 17 seconds will be Garrett Hollenbeck. You can see that battle continuing in the background there. Harry White off the track, gets back on dreadfully in front of Dakota French there. There's Garrett Hollenbeck, right side of your screen, 7:42. There's Brett Powers, he's in 15th. And there's race leader Colton Mitchell, so they've lapped through 16th place. Brett Powers is going to be the next guy to go a lap down. And I don't know, did anybody see if Mitchell made it to the flag before time expired?
Didn't see.
That's been a race tech run through the field.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch much of the front of the field because of people not being intelligent in the back of the field.
Well, that's 250 class in a nutshell, it seems, every week. So we saw Mitchell go down. Klein was able to close it down just a little bit, but still pretty big space in between them. Lang has gotten around Phil Bull for 4th. So Tyler Lang is the man on the move right now. Oh, but he's going down, and he just blew it all apart. That is your battle for 2nd overall as far as I know it. And yeah, there goes Lang back through. So 2-4 should get 2nd overall on the day. This has been a really good ride for Tyler Lang through the field. So Mitchell continues to lead, and yeah, green flag is still waving, so he did beat the timer, which means the pace, the total race time, is going to be longer this moto. That's because they're doing one extra lap, but Mitchell's down again. He is down again with the race lead, and here comes Sean Klein. This is going to be a battle for the lead as Klein comes up over the hill. He sees Mitchell down, and he almost goes into the back of him. He goes off the track, gets back on right in front of him, and we have a battle for the lead in Southwick. 2 laps to go. And it's Klein versus Mitchell. Klein down. Oh, but he doesn't fall off the bike. Hangs on. So Mitchell goes back to the front just like that. They got Brett Powers in between them. Powers looks like he's trying to get out of the way. And Klein's trying to use alternate lines to get around him. I didn't think Powers knew he was going to be there. Oh boy, it is on here at the Wick. Klein wants to win this moto, and I'm trying to remember. I think he was 6th in the first moto, which this could move him to 2nd overall. A 6-1, I believe, beats a 2-4. Although my math is all wonky right now. I'm probably wrong. That would be 40 points, and a 2-4 is 22-18. So yeah, that'd also be 40 points, but he gets a win in the 2nd moto. So he's looking to get 2nd overall if he gets the win here. They are coming to the white flag. They had a couple corners to go. Jack Haley deep in the background here. Then Tyler Lang running in 4th. Phil Bull back to 5th. Dickerson is in 6th. And Devin Ryan has had a great climb. He might get up to Isaiah Dickerson here for 6th. Matthias Janis, Colby Eagland. Dakota French just got passed by Gebhardt. Craig Leake also off the track right there. And Jacob Hubbard right behind him. Harry White. And Garrett Hollenbeck has just been lapped as the white flag is out, and you just saw the gap between our leaders. It's not huge. Another mistake from Mitchell, and suddenly this thing is on again. Klein's just trying to get there on raw speed. 3.7 seconds back. We'll go on board with him here He is pushing the envelope. Now it's down to 3.3. You can see Mitchell ahead. He's in that purple polka dot gear. Oh, that was a rider down. And it was Mitchell. Mitchell was down. Coming out of the inside rut, Mitchell has hit the deck. And on the last lap of the race, the change for the lead goes in the direction of Sean Klein, which is huge for him. He is looking for that elusive first victory of the season. It may only be a moto. He is not going to pick up the overall today, but this is going to help claw a couple points back that he lost in that first moto to Jack Haley. And Mitchell's got to be furious with himself. Wow, what a change of events here. Last lap at Southwick, Sean Klein goes to the race lead. And it looks like he is not going to receive any final pressure from Mitchell so long as he keeps it on two wheels. You can see Mitchell is still lurking there in the background. But Klein's just trying to keep it upright.
Oh.
Oof. Man, that's second time. This is the second time we've seen Klein make a huge mistake through that section, but he's trying to put it all behind him. He's trying to pick up his first moto win of the season, and he looks like he is on his way to doing that as he comes down into the final corner. Southwick, moto number 2 belongs to the 10 machine. Sean Klein wins here at Southwick. And Mitchell's down in the final corner anyway, so it's not going to make a difference when it comes to cuts. Haley is not going to get anywhere close to Mitchell, who gets up and will go 21-2 to lose a huge chunk of points on the day, but at least salvage something in that second moto after an abysmal first. The man of the day, though, once again, is going to be Jack Haley, though. Dominating win in the first moto, a great ride through the field after a silly mistake at the beginning of the second moto. Put him all the way up into third, and a 1-3 performance. Jack Haley wins the Southwick National. Tyler Lang probably is going to end up having to settle for third overall after Sean Klein picked up that win here in the second moto. But still a great performance, 2-4 on the day for Lang as he comes into the final corner. Going to finish behind his Relaxa Tire teammate Jack Haley again. They were 1-2 the first moto, now they're 3-4 this moto. Phil Bull's going to settle for a 3-5 performance on the day. That's still a very good ride from the number 40. Not going to be good enough to get on the podium, though. Ooh, Devin Ryan down in the final straightaway. That's going to maybe cough up this position to his teammate, Colby Eagland. It definitely will. Oh, man, Devin Ryan, a great charge, was looking to pick up 6th. Talked about Devin Ryan probably having to pass the most riders today. He crashed in the exact same spot, both motos, after grabbing the whole shot, and neither of them were his fault. And somehow ends up going, what did he go, 7-7, I believe, on the day. Matthias Janis comes across an 8th. Isaiah Dickerson is going to pick up a 9th, and we have an absolute battle royale. Dakota French and Craig Leak and Jacob Hubbard and Walter Gebhardt are all right here. That is the 237 of Jake Warden that's right in the mix. Look at Leak going inside. Hubbard wanted nothing to do with that. Jumped out of the inside rut and gives the spot to Craig Leak. I think Craig Leak was going to kill them both. And instead, Hubbard's like, you have the spot. I'll take my points right here. As Walter Gebhardt comes across 13th. Harry White 14th, Hollenbeck 15th, Powers ends up 16th, good ride for him. Ivan Medina 17th, Solis 18th, Shepard 19th, and Gatlin ends up 20th. I don't believe cuts changed anything inside of the points this time, and they did not. Klein wins the second moto, Haley wins the overall. That is the 250 National here at Southwick, and we're going to head out right about now as we come to the 450 racing coming up next, so don't touch that URL bar. We'll be right back with more racing here from Southwick, but thanks for watching the 250 Motos. Round number 6 of the 2018 Racetech Nationals, powered by Race Factory Gaming.